All right. Welcome to the Abingers YouTube. You can find us at youtube.com/the Abingers and wherever podcasts are available. You can also find us at abingerspodcast.com where we have social media links and our merch. Guys, the Batman is here. It is here. We have seen it. My brain is still comprehending what we just watched. I know we're a little late to react, about a week later, but don't hate us, guys. I'm going to start out with you, Clinton. What did you think of the Batman?
Oh man. So for me, it took me a minute, and the more I've thought about it, the more I enjoyed it. I want to see it again. I've only gotten to watch it one time, but it felt like a comic noir feel. And I don't know if anyone ever watched the Batman animated series, but
No.
Yes.
Oh my God. It felt like that because every time Batman's going to solve a case, he's meeting up with Gordon and they're talking and then going to almost every scene in this movie. It's Gordon and Batman together. It felt very different. I really enjoyed it. I liked the Riddler. He felt a little Jigsaw-y to me. I got a little Jigsaw vibe.
I can see that.
But I do like how they did Paul Dano's Riddler in this. Overall, I still wouldn't rank it above The Dark Knight. I still think The Dark Knight's top tier. Even today, I still enjoy watching that movie. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a fantastic Batman movie. And the clumsiness of Batman was there a little bit. And I liked that because he's year 2 in this and he didn't feel as like graceful and well-rounded as the previous Batman movies we've seen.
And I'll go ahead and jump in with my thoughts as well. I want to save Emmy for last because I'm curious, really, really curious what she thinks. So that is saving the best for last, folks. But I will agree with you. I think especially year 2 Batman, he's a lot more on edge. I mean, especially in that scene, and spoiler alert ahead for the Batman, you didn't spoil anything, Clinton, but we might spoil something in the future. It is definitely huge where like he's beating this guy up and he's like, I'm vengeance. And obviously that's in the trailer, but it's a Batman who's tense, who doesn't know if he's making a difference. He's almost pissed off. Like, why is it not working? It's like when you try over and over and over and things just keep going wrong. And he even says in a monologue, I keep trying to make this city better, but I don't know if I'm even making a difference. It's just this very dark and gritty and real. I mean, how anyone would feel in Gotham after a while. And speaking of Gotham, this is the best Gotham I think we've ever seen. I think honestly, there's a debate for the best Batman. I would say this is the best Riddler we've ever seen. Sorry, Jim Carrey. But I know.
Watch your mouth.
But I will say, best Catwoman, I think, as well.
Yeah, Catwoman shines.
Yeah. Penguin. Ooh, Danny DeVito has a special place in my Memberberry heart, but I gotta say, Colin Farrell killed it as Penguin. Just great casting overall. I thought, though, the star of this movie is Gotham. I think the city was living and breathing, and I really, really enjoyed that. It felt just, gosh, was it just me, or was there a lot of rain? It was just rain and dark.
I feel like every scene Batman's in, it's just rain.
Rain, yeah, exactly. And then it's like, bum, 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 bum. And I love that song. Holy crap. But it was like every single time I was like, golly, it feels like Darth Vader's walking down.
It's funny you say that. I think the guy that worked on a few Star Wars movies, cinematographer, I could be wrong, he also worked on this. Like the scene where Darth Vader walks in the smoke and the red lightsaber.
Oh, yeah.
This is paralleled so much with the white smoke, the scene where he beats up the like face painted guys.
Yeah,
and you see him like in the shadows, and then he comes out, and
that
they
was the best
subvert
part.
your expectations a lot in this because there's a lot of scenes where like the symbols in the sky, so the mobs and stuff, the thugs are like looking around in the shadows to see if he's going to pop out, and you think he's going to, but he don't.
I like that.
I love that.
Yeah, this movie is really, really enjoyable. I think the more I think about it, the more I like it because there's so many details and layers. And I have only seen this movie once, self-admittedly. I will be going back to see it again just because I feel like I'm missing a lot. And great movie. Matt Reeves. Yeah, I think you got a series on your hand, and well deserved at that. So, Emmy, you got 2 thumbs up from Clinton and Brandon. Just curious, what'd you think?
I went into this movie as a completely blank slate. I was like, I am not going to judge any bit of this movie based on anything that I've seen, based on how the trailers made me feel. And I have to say, I completely disagree with both of you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Emmy.
I did not like it because I like the campy, fun Batman. Even the Tim Burton versions, which I watched this weekend after I watched this movie, those were like grittier to me. Like that term grittier. Those were grittier. No. They were directed by Tim Burton. I mean, they were like back then after Adam West, like that was a gritty Batman.
Yeah,
and so,
for the time.
But yes. I liked the camp of that. And so I was like, okay. So I watched it again last night and I was like, I'm going to take myself out of this equation. I'm going to say, okay, I know that this is not the Batman that I'm used to. I'm going to watch this as a film. As a film, do I like this movie? No.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And you brought up the music. The music is redundant. In the credits, it was grating on my nerves. Just da 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 da. I was like, oh my gosh, please stop. I found some things that I did like.
Yeah.
But a movie as a whole, I felt like there were things that were rushed, and I should not feel that in a movie that is 3 hours long.
You felt things were rushed. Oh my gosh. So
I thought they drug a little bit.
I thought, yeah, same here.
Yeah.
There was a part, especially like when like the flood happens and he's in the water and he has that flare and he goes up and like people are not even trapped. They're just like hanging onto this thing and he's like, walk with me. Just slow. He's just slow. Like, get on with it. Like
sorry. That part where they build it up and it's almost like a slow motion moment where it's like the electricity is about to get in the water and he jumps onto it.
Yeah.
And then falls in the water. It was like very built up to let you down. It didn't fit there. It felt like it was a very overreacting scene.
Yeah, I would agree.
I felt like that a lot about the movie.
Oh.
And I know I'm a minority. I know that my opinion is not popular, but I'm proud of myself for being able to be like, I didn't like it.
Hey,
I don't see what people see in it.
Stay true to yourself, my friend. I would say, okay, so quick, if you could say like the top 3 things you don't like about this movie, just real quick. You know, like it could be the casting, it could be the cinematography, it could just quick 3 things. What you think? You know, obviously I think pandering, it sounds like, you know, like it was a lot of just, hey, we got it. You know, maybe that's one of them. I'm curious if you could just rattle off real quick. What are the
real
3?
Quick. Okay,
what are the 3 things you don't like?
It was too real, hit too close to home. I feel like it was like, this is not the Batman that I know and love. It was like too
Batwoman.
I've
real.
Never seen
it was
a
like
Batman here ever.
Huh?
I've never seen crime.
Take it easy, sweetheart.
Take it easy.
I know, but like it was like if Batman was set in the real world, this is how it would be done, and that's what this movie was to me, and I don't like that.
That's fair. Okay.
Gotham City is a different city, like for a reason.
Yeah, but it's a very dark and gritty city, and that's what it was.
Yeah, that's fine. And it was in Tim Burton's.
All right, I'll shut up.
Is it in Alaska? Because it's like dark all the time. I wonder if they're just in that part.
If you ever wonder why they're all wearing coats, it's cold.
I didn't see any snow though. I saw no snow.
Oh no, because it was all rain.
Yeah, exactly.
That was another thing. Is it was just so dark. It was so dark
like,
the whole
in
time.
the literal sense.
Yeah.
Well, both. I mean, it was just, you couldn't see anything for the rain and the dark.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say a lot too, where they when they pull up like on a motorcycle and the headlights. So I was like, oh my gosh, my eyes were killing me because it's so dark. And then they flash this huge thing of light at you, and you're like, oh man, like I literally had to look away from the screen a couple times. It hurt my eyes, so because it's so dark all the time, and then the bright was a little jarring.
Too much.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think if I had to land on I'll give you one that is a like and a dislike. I liked that they kept Robert Pattinson as Batman a lot.
Oh, yeah,
I thought that his Bruce Wayne was Oh, well, that was an angsty teen. That was not okay. You're not my father. Oh my God. That should never come out of somebody else's mouth. who's not a 15-year-old talking to their stepdad.
You're not my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played Bruce Wayne because I feel like Batman is like the dark, like version of Bruce Wayne, who Bruce Wayne really puts on like an act, and he's like,
and you don't have that here.
Yeah,
exactly. I will say this, guys. Okay, Clinton, let's rattle off three of our favorites. I'm gonna go three real quick. I thought Gotham was a living, breathing, real city that, you know, we're starting to see a lot of origin stories for villains, and they did a really good job balancing a lot of that all at once. Riddler was formidable. Paul Dano was insanely talented. I loved the riddles. I loved the figuring out and the clues. I thought that was really smart writing.
Yeah.
And
that was one of my loves, was like when he was acting like he was in an escape room. That was my favorite bit.
Exactly. And also my third favorite would be, we skipped the origin of Batman. We didn't have a Batman Begins here. And that's not to diss Batman Begins. For that movie, it worked, and it worked well. We didn't have to, like when we saw the kid at the beginning, I was like, here we go. The whole Bruce Wayne origin story. And it wasn't. And I thought it turned it on its head for me, personally, for me watching it. And I really enjoyed that, because similar to Peter Parker, do we really need another Peter Parker origin story? No, we don't. We know it at this point. Even cinema fans know it at this point. So skip all that. Let's get right to the action. He's Batman. He's been in it for 2 years. Let's see what's going on. I enjoyed that a lot.
Subversion was a big thing for me that I loved about this film.
Yep.
And in that way, where they like bring you in to think it's going to be him again.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. And then I've already mentioned the cues that movies usually take to like, oh, they're going to be here. They subvert that expectation. So I love the subversion. I really liked Catwoman. I think Zoe Kravitz, almost every scene she was in, she steals the scene. Like, she's the focal point for me. Even if Batman's in the scene, like, she really did a great job as Catwoman in this movie. The Riddler, I liked a lot, but it didn't feel as much like the Riddler, and maybe that's because I'm used to like that campy Riddler, not just from movies, but even comics. He's very flamboyant and extravagant about everything, and this was a darker side, so it kind of immediately thought Jigsaw when I saw him. When I saw him, like his stuff first with his recording and his voice, it's like, and the choke thing around the neck. It's almost like, I want to play a game. Like, guess the riddle and they won't die, which is what Saw is.
Right. Good stuff, guys. Well, hey, if you want to hear more of our detailed thoughts on the Batman, you can find us wherever podcasts are available. You want to learn a little bit more about us, Abingerspodcast.com. We even have some merch available. If you want a hoodie or a shirt to represent that you're a huge Abingers nerd, we would love that. Also, you can support the show because this YouTube is brought to you by our patrons. Without their support, we would not have it. So patreon.com/Abingers Podcast, Abingers podcast. For now, we're out. Any final words, guys?
Deuces.
No, I don't. I have no final words there.
Bye, everybody. See ya.